Well, good morning, and thank you all for joining us here today. I'm Javier Mainar. It's my privilege to serve as Chief of the San Diego Fire Rescue Department. I'm very honored to be joined here today by Scott Walker, a board member of the San Diego Burn Institute. We've come together here today to ask you to be especially careful. We want the holidays to be what they should be, the happiest time of the year. But year in and year out, we respond to more home fires in December than at any other time of the year. I think all of us that have been firefighters for a while have been to homes where presents are found burned, lying on the floor after we extinguish a fire. And it really does just break your heart to see that that has happened to a family. But really, some simple precautions that you can take can avoid that tragedy from happening to you. The first is, if you're going to have a Christmas tree in your home, and most of us do choose that, and you're going to have a cut tree, please choose a tree that is fresh as you go to the lot. If you shake the tree as you're looking at it and needles fall off, you're bringing a big problem into your home and the potential for a tragedy. Once you get the tree home, please keep it watered so that those needles stay nice and green. Without proper care, trees can easily dry out and posing a major fire hazard. Make sure that you place your tree at least 3 feet away from any heat source, such as fireplaces and radiators. Electrical problems are also a chief cause of many of the Christmas tree and holiday decoration fires that we see every year. It's important to remember that even if you have an artificial tree, they too can pose a fire hazard. Position your tree near an outlet so that you don't have to use a number of extension cords to be able to power the decorations that you have on the tree. And in that way, no one is trampling over the cords, potentially damaging them and causing a problem. And don't use multiple plugs in an outlet, which can overload the circuit and create a problem within your wall. And check the electrical cords on the strings of lights you put on the tree every year. Make sure that they're still in good shape or whether they need to be replaced. And it's not uncommon if you have an artificial tree nowadays to have the lights really built into the tree structure. And as you pack that year in and year out and unpack it, those wires can become frayed and pose an electrical hazard. So as you put your artificial tree up that has the lights on it, please carefully look at all of the cords on those lights to make sure that it's still serviceable and will not pose a hazard to your family. If you put up outside decorations in your home, be sure to use lights rated for outdoor use. There is a big difference from those from indoor use. Now, in a few minutes, you're going to see a demonstration of just how quickly a fire can spread from a dried tree, causing major destruction in a home. I'd like to thank the Sports Arena Home Depot for donating today's tree. After the holidays are over, we like to keep the tree around a little bit in my home, but when you go to dispose of the tree, please do recycle. That it will be great mulch for additional vegetation in the future. And don't leave that tree at the side of your house where it will dry out and become a potential hazard and an attractive nuisance for someone. Now, while we always focus our attention on Christmas tree fires and those kinds of things, there are lots of other hazards that contribute to the high number of fires we experience every December. I want to talk about a few of those. There are more fireplaces and heaters in use at this time of the year, of course. And as far as heaters go, use the 3-foot rule. Keep flammable items at least 3 feet away from curtains, towels, blankets, furniture, bedding, and things like that. And never use a space heater to dry wet towels or clothing. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room, and don't leave space heaters on when you go to bed. And lastly, please do not use your oven to heat your home. Not only does it create a fire hazard, but also the chance of, if you have a gas fire oven, of carbon monoxide poisoning in your home. And with that, I'd like to introduce Scott Walker to provide some additional safety tips at this time of year. Scott?
Javier, thank you and good morning and happy holidays to all of you. I'd really like to talk today about how we will keep those holidays happy and safe. It only takes one brief moment for the holidays to go from a very happy occasion to a tragic occasion. UCSD and Dr. Patenza has let me know that scald injuries have been on a very big increase lately. And I'd like to make sure that these holiday seasons don't attribute more to that. So please, while you're cooking in your kitchen, preparing your holiday meals, try to keep the little ones out of the kitchen. Make sure all your pot handles are turned back. Make sure all the extension cords that are close to the edge of the counter are out of reach of the small children who reach up just out of curiosity. Scald injuries are also greatly increased by the use of microwave ovens. Oftentimes people do not realize how hot the liquid gets inside a container, and those containers sometimes can come malleable and very soft and can spill the liquid on it. Some of the other items that we'd like to talk to is safe sleepwear. Sometimes during the holiday seasons, parents are putting their children in different garments. Please check inside and make sure that the garment has a tag that says suitable for child sleepwear inside the garment. Thank you very much.
You know, I neglected to mention, off to our left over here are a number of investigators and bomb technicians from the Metro Arson Strike Team, and had the privilege of serving in that unit for a number of years. The most memorable holiday fire that I can remember actually involves coming into a beautiful Victorian home, or what had been a very beautiful Victorian home. And when I got inside to look around to kind of orient myself as to where I would begin my investigation, I noticed that there was the remains of a Christmas tree sticking out of the fireplace, with the tip of the Christmas tree, the top, sticking in the fireplace, and the rest sticking out. Now, the homeowner in that case wanted to dispose of his tree and thought he would just slowly feed it into the fireplace to accomplish that. Suffice it to say that that didn't happen. The minute the tree touched the fireplace, the entire inside of that room went up, and beautiful Victorian home was destroyed. So please dispose of your Christmas trees properly. At this point, we would like to do a demonstration to show you the difference between non-flammable sleepwear and clothing that has not been properly treated and create a hazard. Following that, we'll also do the demonstration involving the burn box and the Christmas tree. So, Scott?
Even though most garments at some point in time will ignite and burn, the ability for a garment to not catch on fire and burn rapidly has a lot to do with the material and the way that the material is woven and put together. Natural fibers have different fire rating capabilities, and you can see that this garment, I have to hold a constant flame to it for some sort of time before it actually will catch fire and start to burn. But once again, most garments will burn. What you're seeing here actually is a garment that once again is burning. The fire is somewhat contained and it's not racing up the face of it. Different materials, once again, sleepwear is not fireproof, it is fire resistant. So even though with this garment you can still see that it does have some flame production, it's somewhat fire resistant. This garment's already maintaining combustion. The flame is probably a little bit larger than you can tell from where you are, but right now fire spread is actively taking off, and this garment will totally consume itself in a very short period of time. If you can learn one thing today and take one thing away from this demonstration, please look for tags inside the garment that says that that garment is safe for child sleepwear. T-shirts typically that parents put their children in, oftentimes are not the best garment for children to be sleeping in, especially around the holidays when there are different flammable materials and candles around many, many homes.
Okay, they just lit, they're lighting the match, so we should see something here shortly.